Hello, this is Mark Wildman of Wildman Athletica, and I've been a trainer for, 20, 25 years. I've been a martial artist, I've been a circus performer, I've trained actors for movies, I've done all kinds of stuff. I'm constantly talking about my training because it helps people understand what their training can be. Your training does not just go up forever, it tends to go in phases. Right now, I am in a down phase of training for my own self because I have a series of really brutal and horrific injuries. When I was in the circus, I fell 25 feet in practice. I dislocated my knee. It's extremely gross. I had a full PCL allograft, which means they bolt dead people parts into my leg. Same thing with LCL. I have probably the worst knee injury I've ever heard or seen of. I'm not supposed to do almost anything ever again. I wasn't supposed to run, jump, ride a bike, do kung fu, fight, do jujitsu, do circus. I do all of that stuff because I come up with good training. About every couple of years, my leg just decides it doesn't like me anymore and it swells up. So I was just teaching a 6-day seminar, and the week before that, my leg swelled up to about the size of my head. My knee was about the size of my head. I couldn't bend my leg, I couldn't walk, and I had to come up with a way to get back so I could teach a 6-day seminar, 8 to 9 hours a day, staff, club, mace, without stopping. You have to be able to go straight through. So I dropped down and I went back to working on a couple of very specific things. I did body weight breakdown training. When I get really hurt, I lose movement patterns. This is true of everybody who gets hurt. This is how people get old. They get hurt, they stop doing a specific movement pattern, and then they try to work around it. Instead of working around it, we try to come up with ways to force ourselves to do something below the level of injury. We try to convince our body that it's okay. I wrote a bunch of body weight programs years ago that were used mostly for stunt guys and for actors who needed to prepare for action movies. Basic things, getting up off of the ground. If you're gonna do some type of action movie where you're throwing and getting dropped on the ground over and over and over again, how you get up matters. And you can write programs around breaking down those skills, just like you can break down any judo throw, just like you can break down any gun scene. You can break it down into small pieces and work on it individually. Krav Get-Up, which is a self-defense get-up where you're moving backwards. Judo Get-Up, where you're getting up in the same place so that you can re-engage for a throw on the other side. Prone Get-Up, which is like a technical burpee. A screwing push-up, which is helping you learn to roll over and pop up so that you can change directions. And what we call beast push-up, which is really like a Mike Tyson push-up program. So what I did to recover is I created these, what we call rehab formats of that, where they're running through each movement in order for just 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. You do all the movements in order, and then you do 4 rounds of that. And then you pick a program and you do it one day, and it's below the line where you're really gonna be dying. The goal is that it's easy so that you can work on your ankle movement, your knee movement, your hip movement, and you can find out what's not doing it, and then you can convince your body to move. Oftentimes when you get hurt, you have this thing called fear reactivity, where your body's not sure what's gonna hurt it, so it stops that and then it stops everything around it. By going through these recovery protocols, you can try to turn on each individual thing and eat away at the fear reactivity, the freezing part of the injury, where your body's trying to keep you immobile because it's not sure what's gonna hurt you. Additionally, a couple months ago, I had Bell's palsy and my face froze from an infection in my ear, probably from all the stuff falling out of the air from the LA wildfires. And I really lost an ability to breathe very well through my nose. So I went back and I started doing my single arm heavy club training with only nasal breathing to try to activate these nerves in my face again. No matter how hardcore of an athlete you are going to get injured. You're going to be stopped entirely and you have to recover. So normally I single arm a 35 or a 30-pound club, which is high level. And I do that because it forces me to shift my weight back and forth between my left leg and my right leg. And it forces my ankle to move and my knee to move to absorb force and to rotate. Ankle, knee, hip, spine. When you get hurt, all those things tend to disappear. So you go back to that single arm stuff. When I had the Bell's palsy, my face froze and I couldn't breathe. I didn't know that I would lose the ability to breathe because this whole side of my skull essentially collapses. So I started over that program with the 10s. And we did that again, and now we're back up to 25. Doesn't matter how hurt you are, you're going to find a way to recover. Focus on your most important things. Your throwing patterns, because it forces you to shift left and right, which mobilizes your ankles, your hips, and your knees. And focus on your get-ups. Do something below the line where you're gonna get hurt, but you are moving. Do not stop moving. Focus on your breathing, reactivate all the nerves in your skull, remove the fear reactivity, and build up, 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 and up again.